Hello, this is Soledad with Canning with Sol, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make beans. Beans can be any beans, the pinto beans, black beans, red beans, kidney beans, and I'm going to put a chart of the different times for the beans. Remember, when you do the beans, it's very important that you follow the exact measurements. And let me give you an example. This is a pint-sized jar with beans. Okay, and I'm going to teach you that way you don't make the same mistake I did. The recipe calls for half a cup for this can. So when I did the first time, I put half a can of beans, and then I did the water, did the whole process and everything. And you see how you have a little bit of space here, and this is how these are already done. This is how they'll come out. Okay, so then the next time that I did them, I said, well, since I had that little space, let me put a little bit of more beans so that it can be completely to the top. So what happened was I didn't count that those little beans that you add on top need water also to be absorbed. So all the top were real dry, like the whole water was suctioned up, and they were real dry, the beans. So they didn't come out. They were okay, but you had to put water and everything. They didn't look like this. So stick to the size that it says, because then that'll happen. Or do all of them with the exact same measurements how it says, and then pour one if you want to test it like I did, and put a little bit more beans, and then so you can see what I mean. But this is how they'll look when they're finally done. But I'm going to show you all the steps how you're going to do it, but I'm not going to make any because I have a bunch of beans. But I'm going to do it exactly like if you would be doing them from scratch. So the first thing that you're going to do, okay, let me put them. All you're going to need is beans. Right now I'm going to do it with black beans so that you can see the difference with the black beans. You're going to need canning salt and vinegar. You always need vinegar. And I'm going to do all the steps exactly how if you're doing it. So let me show you. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have, and of course this is supposed to be hot. I have my hand in here because it's not hot, obviously, because I'm just showing you. So you put your jars in here so that they can boil and they can be completely sterile. Also, your lids, you want to throw them in the water while it's hot and it's boiling. So don't put your hand, pick it up with a, let me get that thing to show you. So we're going to pretend it's hot. So you're going to take out your jars like if they were hot, because this is just for illustration. And then you're going to put it in your counter. This is a quart size, and this is a pint size. Okay, what you're gonna do is on the pint size for black beans, it calls for 3/4 of a cup. On the black beans, it asks for a little bit more because they're smaller. So I'm going exactly to the size that it says there, 3/4. So you're gonna put 3/4. And then that's all you put. What I did is I went like this and I put a couple of more, and then that's what happened when they were real dry. So then on the next one, on the quart size, it asks for 1.5 cups. So you're gonna put 1.5 cups. So there's a cup, and we're gonna pretend this is a half because I didn't think I got it. So let's pretend this is your 1.5 cups. So even though you have a big space, don't try to put more because they're going to be dry in the top. So that's your 1.5 cups. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fill them up with water. And you're going to leave a 1-inch headspace. And I'll show you what a 1-inch headspace is. 1-inch headspace is to the first line right here. So there you go, 1 inch. Here's the other one. Here you go. So that's your 1-inch headspace. And I'm making 2 sizes so that you can see the difference. Then you're going to use canning salt. Can you use regular salt? Probably, but I always read it was canning salt, so I just use canning salt. Something about the IRS, I forgot. I didn't read it. I don't want to sound like real smart. I didn't read it. So for the pint-sized jar, you're going to use 1/2 teaspoon. And like I keep saying, I'm not a fan of salt. So if you don't want to put salt, like I don't put any, You don't have to. You can put it when you cook them, but if you like to taste how they're supposed to taste, it's a teaspoon over here and half a teaspoon over here. If you put bacon or ham or anything in them, then don't put any salt, because obviously that's salt. Just so you know. In case you didn't know. I'm sure you didn't. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a towel. We always do this. And we wipe the ribs so that all the stickiness, or so that the seals can, the lids can seal. So there you go. We already cleaned them. And these are the steps for any beans that you do. And then you're gonna take out your lids that are supposed to be very hot in the pot, remember, in our pretend hot pot. And then you're gonna be careful with them, because remember, they're hot. So you're gonna place them on top, and then you're gonna do them fingertip tight. So fingertip is thin, and then half of a moon. I always say half of a moon because that's how I've learned. Half and then half a moon. What I tell people is the very first time that I can, I put 4 jars in there, and I put 1, 2, 3, 4. I labeled them 4. So then one I tighten it a little, the other one a little bit more, the other one a little bit more, and so forth. That way I knew which one would seal better. And number 1 didn't seal, and number 4 didn't seal. Number 3 sealed perfect. So it's just practicing with your, so start sealing water if it's your first time and you've never done it. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put them in your hot water, and of course this one is too small. The water has to be 2 fingers above. It has to cover them so that they can cook, so they can be water bath. So then you put them there, and you can put different sizes as long as it's 2 fingers above. Then you're gonna cover it. Oh, I forgot to say. Then you're gonna add a squirt of vinegar, and the vinegar is so that your jars don't become hazy or kind of like they're dirty. They stay nice and white and clean. Then you cover it, and once it starts boiling, where it makes the bubbles, and you know that it's boiling, what we call a rolling boil point, then you start your timer. For beans, it's 3 hours in a water bath. So for 3 hours, you're gonna have them boiling until they're done. So in 3 hours, then we're gonna pretend it's already been 3 hours. So 3 hours are off, you turn off your stove, and then you let them sit here for about 15 minutes more with the stove off, so that they can adjust a little bit to the time temperature change. Okay, so then let me move this out of the way so I can show you. So it's already been 15 minutes. Every time you open a lid, you always do it away from your face so that steam doesn't come in your face. So then you open it. Then remember, they're gonna be hot. So you're gonna pull them out like this. Be very careful that you don't drop them, because I keep dropping them. And then you're gonna put them in your counter. So these are already done, remember, we're pretending. So these are already done. You don't touch the seal, you don't do anything to them. You just put a towel over them, and you leave them like that for 12 to 24 hours. So in the morning, I always say in the morning because I do everything at night. So in the morning, all you do is you take off the towel, and then you take off your rings. So here are some that are already done, so I can show you those. So these are some that I have done already. I got both jars so that you can see. So let's say that these are the ones that we left that night, okay? These are obviously not sealed because I didn't cook them. So now these are the ones that you uncovered. You know, you took off the towel and everything. So then what you do is you take off the rings, and then you grab them from here, but you put your hand in the bottom. If they don't come off, it means they're sealed. Then you check your other one, and it means they're sealed. These are from June that I can. And then what I do, since I know they're already sealed, I just do this. I don't know why, I just have a habit of doing that. Then I do that. Then you bring them to your sink, and then you rinse them. Remember, you wash everything. Once they're already washed, you wash them real good. Then you're gonna label whatever they are. See, mine say beans 626. 626. I know they're beans. So this is how they look when they're already done. You see, but that little space makes a big difference if you put extra beans. And I'll put the list of how many beans you put, because it's different for every beans. For the pinto is different, for the black, for the red, for the lentils, for all the beans, they're in that list, and it's a different time for all of them. But as far as the processing time is the same, the steps is the same, everything is the same except how many beans you put in there. Well, I really hope you enjoy this class on beans. Beans is the easiest thing to can and so convenient because we use them all the time. I always make 12, and when I'm down to 3, I can 12 again. That way I don't have a lot of them on my shelf. And we go through beans a lot. Also, make them according to your family size. Don't make big jars if it's only 1 or 2 people. Make little ones. Whenever it's just for my husband and me, I use this. Whenever I'm making dinner, like on Sundays for the family, or it's a cookout, I use this one. If I'm gonna do like chado beans, I use 2 of these for a barbecue. So just remember to make them according to your family, and you learn. But pretty much, I always use this size. I always use the pint. I use it more for everything. And that's it. That's all you do. So it's just pouring the beans, processing them 3 hours, and then they're done. The hardest thing to learn is the seal. Once you get the seal, how much you tighten, then everything is super easy. Well, thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoy this class on beans, and I'll see you tomorrow.